Hey, welcome back to Women in Sales Leadership. I am your friend, Amy Evans, and I am so glad you're here today because today's episode is one I already know that you are going to want to share with a friend. Yes, you get a chance to give little gifts all the time, and this is one that you can share right now, right away. Here's what we're going to talk about. The thing that we all say we're going to do, but don't like to do, feel nervous about doing it. And that is networking. I am fresh off of a workshop that I did yesterday for a room of very talented, highly capable sales leaders who are operating at one of the largest, well-known technology companies in the world. And what was unanimous in that room was how challenging and how uncomfortable sales leaders who are running hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue, they are uncomfortable networking. And it's okay because I think by nature, it just feels awkward, doesn't it? Like this word networking, like this thought you're showing up in this awkward way to connect with someone and do it with a reason to talk, right? For some reason, this isn't scary for us when we are in a business pursuit, we are in a deal, right? The objective is clear. We all know there's an objective to that conversation called win the deal. And the conversations that are associated with win the deal are all going to be pointing in a direction. I think where I see, and I notice this even, of course, for myself, is that this thought of networking, like we make it seem so flippin' hard and so like perhaps I'm going to offer a touch of, we might overthink it a little bit. I overthink it. I know I do. So let's get into what that is and how to make it feel so natural for you, feel so normal for you. And the reason that it's so powerful, you already know this, right? It's when you are having networking conversations, and I don't care what the objective of the networking conversation is, right? I'm going to focus on the networking conversation that is surrounded by you building more relationships with leaders who can support you in your career. Okay. And that support in your career could be something that's an immediate need, like this year you want to be elevated in your business and get a promotion, or it's a right now, I need a job. I got to get the hell out of where I am, or I don't have a job and I want to find one. And more importantly, I don't want just any damn job. I'm going to curse a little today, full on warning. But I want one that I love, right? The way to get access to all of that is through your network and through networking. And that is what we're going to get to today. I'm going to give you some super, super simple things that you can do. And the challenge that I'm going to issue you is I'm going to ask you to take action. Like, don't just listen to this message today and move on from it and say, oh yeah, she talked about networking. It was great. Come on now. You know better. The reason that you came and that you're here is that you know you need support in this area. And if you're still listening right now, you know it for sure. So commit to yourself that you're going to do something after today's conversation and just use one of the frameworks that I'm giving you. Make it your own, right? Everything has to feel comfortable to you, has to feel authentic to you. You get a chance to do that in today's conversation. Again, if you already know that your friends are struggling with this or someone that you know is, please take a second right now. Obviously, if you're driving, like be safe. But if, you're folding your laundry, whatever, forward this to a friend. That is how this podcast grows. And we have experienced so much growth in the past few months due to your generosity and your kindness and you reaching out and sharing with the people that you care about the wealth of information that I make available in this conversation for you today. And okay, let's get to it. So you hear a lot of people say, your network is your net worth. Okay, whatever, fine. It's really just making connections with people. So the objective of making connections with people is for you to, first of all, know what your objective is, right? You don't just have a coffee chat to have a coffee chat. You must have an idea of what you want out of that conversation. And just like you would never show up to a sales call or let one of your leaders or your sellers show up to a sales call without an agenda and an objective in mind, you too get to have an objective and an agenda in mind for your networking call. When we look at what that means, it means showing up with, okay, I want to talk to this person. You identify them. Number one, you know who you want to talk to. And can I take something off the table here? I want to take off the table this fear and trepidation about your imposing on a leader by reaching out to them. Every single leader that's executive leader, I don't care if they're a C-suite, a board person, they're a VP, CRO, pick your role. They are wanting more talent on their team. And if they're a leader who is at all strategic, they're always thinking about, who do I need to have on my bench? Who do I need to know in my network that are leaders that I could pull onto my team? So you reaching out to them to make a connection is actually a service that you are providing to that person. It may feel like you're the one showing up saying, I want something from you. Yes, you're also offering a connection to them, to a network that you have access to. Okay. And when you enter the conversation with that kind of mindset, it's a conversation. It's not this, awkward, weird networking thing. All right. So back to the objective. The objective is really all about two things for you. Is it, and this going in right away, is this a conversation that is a career expansion conversation with someone who can influence your career, who can maybe hire you or advocate for you as you are journeying through your path of upward mobility inside your current company? Or is it somebody who can help you get a job right now today? Okay. So the thing to do is, number one, before you do the call, I'm assuming that you know how to get this call done. So I'm not going to coach you in getting the call. I guess I could back up a little bit. Let's do that. I can coach you on, you reach out and you say, hey, I really admire you. Admiration works every single time. I really admire your leadership. I'm looking to expand my own network of executive leaders like you. I'd be grateful to get 30 minutes of your time. Can you meet this day or that day? Or do you have an assistant that I need to coordinate your calendar with, right? That's the easy thing. And always just give them a couple options for the meeting. Tell them how long it's going to be, tell them what the meeting's for, and then, offer the execution path, which is, this day or this time, or do I need to reach out to your assistant who manages your calendar for you? Right? Okay. So you've gotten the meeting, and the next step is to make sure that you, A, do your homework just like you would, show up to the conversation knowing what this person does, and secondly, have an agenda and an outcome for yourself. The opportunity that you have, this is your meeting. You called the meeting. So show up and run the meeting, right? It's friendly. It's conversational. Hi, good to meet you. The next thing that you do is you set up your objective and your outcome. And you say it just like this, I have an outcome for today's conversation. I wanted to share the outcome that I have for you. Good to meet you. Thank you, right? All the gratitude things. So glad you're here. Want to confirm we've got 30 minutes. I wanted to share the outcome that I want to get out of today's conversation. And number one, I want to get to know you better as a leader and share a little bit about myself and my own leadership journey. So those are the two things that you say is an outcome for you. And then you ask this question to the person you have the meeting with. You say, what do you want to take away? What do you want to take away from today's call? They're not going to have an outcome. Just call it takeaway. What do you want to get out of today's call? They're going to say something, probably learn more about you, right? Because you're wanting to learn about them. So it's a meeting, right? First date kind of conversation. So the thing to have ready is the question that you want to ask about them. And some of the ones that I have found that work so well are the easiest ones, so natural. Tell me about your leadership journey. Simple. How did you get to be in this role? What do you think are the two most important characteristics when you are leading at your level? You're getting insight to what's at their level, because you might have sights on being at their level someday, right? What are the two characteristics or two traits? What are the two key critical things that you see that are must-haves to lead at the level that you're at today? They're going to talk about that. Chance to get to know them. Third question is, what I want to learn more about. What are the biggest challenges that exist in your business right now? What are the biggest challenges that you're facing? So you've got a 30-minute conversation. You've probably spent 5 minutes on the hi, how are yous. You've kicked everything off. You're giving them about 12 to 15 minutes to answer these questions. Hopefully they're not giving you their long version of their leadership story, right? And then when you're about 20 minutes into the conversation, about that 20 to 27 minute mark, or 20 minute, I'm going to say 20, definitely. You want to give yourself 10 minutes. So you've got 10 minutes left. Watch the clock. So whatever they're saying, if they have raised up a challenge that they see, and it's something that you've dealt with in your business briefly, and it has to be true. If you have dealt with this challenge and you've felt a solution to it before, if you've developed a solution to it before, you can say, you know what's interesting? I've actually helped solve some of that very same problem for my team. And by doing this and this briefly, brevity is you have to know what you're going to say here. You cannot get long-winded. You've only got 30 minutes in this whole conversation. You can share quickly, like by doing X and X. And if you want to learn more about that, maybe we could I'd be glad to have another conversation. So you're offering value in that. And here's where you get a chance to pivot and you say, I wanted to also share briefly about myself. Now, you likely have about 3 to 5 minutes to deliver this about myself moment. And the about myself moment is, and I'm positioning all this conversation I'm giving you the outline for, is the promotion, like general career advancement networking convo. I'm going to give you the outline for the I need a job convo next. So in the last 5 minutes, and this is going to be important no matter which flavor of networking conversation you're having, whether it's promotion or I need a job right away, you've got to be able to have your leadership story fully baked within a 3-minute delivery window or less. 2 minutes ideally. So this requires practice. Anybody can get up and talk for a long time and meander around and finally get to a point. It takes rehearsal to get your story totally refined and in a way that you can tell it in 2 to 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes. What that story needs to include for you is, number one, what I'm most proud of in my career. This is the opening. I'm proud of so many things in my career, but what I'm most proud of are these 3 accomplishments, these 3 things. Now, you don't need to say where you did it all. Like, this isn't a chance to tell your whole life story or leadership story. This is the appetizer. This is the appetizer version, the micro version. I'm really proud of these 3 things. and you know your three things and you connect them to outcomes. And the outcomes are going to be growth, achievement of revenue, overcoming some kind of like really major setback or otherwise really difficult problem. Those are the outcomes. So you have those three things tied to outcomes. That all is delivered in about a sentence and a half, maybe 2 sentences. Quick. You can say this in less than 60 seconds. The last part of that 3-minute leadership story is where you say what I call the through line. In the through line, how you get access to your through line is you ask yourself, you sit down and you look at your 3 main accomplishments, the ones that you really are proud of, that you can draw a straight line to outcomes. And to put it in a context, those outcomes better not be, we got to 100% a plan. No, 100% a plan, nobody gives a hoot about. I don't know. Today it's hoot, I guess. Nobody gives a hoot about. They care about the context of it. We got to plan when, at the half of the year, we were behind and didn't have a shot. Right? That's context. That's the kind of context I'm looking for. And that any leader looks for. That's something they're like, wow, that's interesting. We got to plan, even though I had a team, my team was mostly made up of brand new sellers or brand new leaders. We got to plan, even though we'd had a complete reorg in the business only 6 months ago. Right? You're getting my drift. So you put the accomplishment in context so that it punches that story home and makes it memorable and provides a bit of a so what. Okay. So you have that first part down and then you turn your attention to your through line. So you have your three things you're proud of, the results that tie to them, context of those results, the so what you got to plan. So what, right? Answer the question. You get to through line at the very end, and I'll give you a sample of what this looks like in a second. Okay. So the through line is how did you show up as a leader in order to achieve those results? What was common every time? One leader I work with, what's common every time for her is that she shows up in the middle of chaos and turns chaos into process and execution. Yeah. So that's one example. So when I play this out, I'm going to give you the talk track, and I'm going to take one straight from the workshop that I did just yesterday with these sales leaders because they were so awesome. And okay, so what this one leader had shared was her leadership story was she showed up and took a business from 0 to 7 million in 1 year. She took a business, She took a business from 0 to 7 million in 1 year and also grew a brand new team that had just been hired that fiscal to an over-plan achievement within that 12 months. And what she did is she showed up and provided on-the-spot coaching and the right amount of strategy and the right amount of tactical support for her team so that they could show up, learn on the fly, innovate, and execute. So this gets into the story and how you can make this so powerful for yourself. Do not leave this networking call without telling your story. Do not leave this call without sharing about you. Now, the last thing is you better have an ask in this next conversation, right? The request and the ask you're going to have to decide what this ask is going to be. There are 3 options really for the ask in a networking, in a career expansion networking conversation. So that first question, the first ask is going to be permission to follow up, like stay in regular contact with them. If you felt like a real connection with this person and there was rapport, you want to stay in contact with them. If you identified something that they're struggling with that you can support them with, that's a natural second call for you to have. To say, let's have a conversation. I can walk you through how we did this with my team, and you can decide if you want me to share this with your leaders and if there's something that can be gained for your organization, right? And then the third one is a potential opportunity to explore a mentoring conversation with this person. Those all, you're going to have to evaluate during this call whether those three things occur for you. Okay. Moving to the I'm looking for a job networking call. Now, again, this one is so straightforward, and what is so, I talked to like an extremely, such an amazing guy, so smart, so accomplished, VP of sales. And what he told me, he said, I've been applying to these jobs and I'm not getting a response back. And, with all of the heart and love that I have for anybody who is dealing with unemployment right now, like my heart is with you. That is so damn hard. And I've been there before. And the challenge and the fear that goes along with that, it can be overwhelming. Here's what I know. You have done really, really hard things in your life, and you will achieve what you want to achieve here. What it requires is some focus and ingenuity. You have everything. You have all the tools you need. You do. As a seller, as a sales leader, you have all the tools you need. Along your life, along your career, think of all of your skills, all the things that you know how to do. You've had to cold call before. You've had to get access to executives who are unreachable before, right? Those are tools that you get to dust off of your toolbox and say, guess what? I know how to do this. This is my game. I can play this game. And the game is called go get to the highest level executive in the company. Don't talk to recruiters, right? Your opportunity in this kind of outreach, in this kind of networking, is go to the people that you know first, obviously, and make it so clear to them, like, hey, I am looking for a job, but you can't just be looking for any job, my friend. You have to be looking for, I want a role that is, I want a VP of sales role, and I would love to work for your company. I'd love to get your thoughts about that, right? Ideally, that friend is in a target, your person in your network is in one of your target companies or target industries, and ask them for introductions to other leaders in their business if that is an actual target for you, okay? And if they can't make those intros, or they're not comfortable making those intros, ask them who is going to be the person for you to network with. And whatever personality research you need to do, okay? So this is your connector network. Once you're actually reaching out and engaging with someone who can truly hire you, you also have an agenda for that. You get the meeting, right? And how do you get the meeting? Well, how would you tell one of your sellers to get the meeting? You bring value to the table. You show them you know them. Sam McKenna, borrowing from her, right? She has coined that phrase. It works. Show them you know them. Show them you've done their homework on their business. You have a point of view about the potential problems that they're facing and how they're growing their revenue. You've dealt with that problem before in the same industry doing X, Y, and Z. And you'd like 30 minutes on their calendar to talk about how you've done it in the past and explore if there's a potential for a relationship or partnership for you to come work for them, for you to consult them. There could be different flavors of work that you could do for this company, right? So you reach out with that kind of message. Now, here's where you might have to go humble yourself a little bit, Okay. If you've been a leader of leaders or a people leader and it's been a while since you picked up the phone or, did cold outreach to somebody, you got to shake off the cobwebs and remember how to do that. You haven't forgotten, by the way. It's just been a minute since you worked that muscle out. Like, I promise you that once you pick up the weight called, I can do cold outreach, your body's going to remember how to do it, right? And part of it is just letting go of any self-judgment about you taking control of your life, taking control of your career, and saying, you know what? I'm in charge. I'm in charge. And one of the things that I can do, being in charge of my life, being in charge of my career, is to identify some target companies that I would love to work at, companies that I've done research on. Maybe you've gone to RepView. Maybe you've gone and looked up what kind of funding they have if they're privately held. Or, of course, if they're public, I'm assuming, of course, you've done all of your homework on that business. The outreach, you can do a written outreach on LinkedIn for sure. Absolutely. And I recommend a written outreach. That's great. What's powerful is you can do a written outreach as well as a video of you. Now, the video of you doesn't have to be perfect. The video of you doesn't have to be like, YouTube, professional YouTube quality. You do want to have the camera, looking at your face, not looking down or up at your chin, right? Just make that adjustment. Make yourself look like you're looking at the camera. Have your talk track in mind in your video. I'm just going to, I'm going to pretend I'm talking to Sam McKenna since you brought her up. So Sam, I am so fired up about what you are doing at Sam Sales. And I've solved the exact problems that you guys are solving at Sam Sales previously. I've done so much research on your business. I've read all of your posts on LinkedIn. And I believe you and I could make magic together. I'm going to give you a quick overview, like some bullets of some of the stuff that I've done before, so you can take a quick peek at that. But what I'm really wanting is to set 30 minutes on your calendar next week on Tuesday or Thursday at 2:00. What works best for you? If you have an assistant that manages your calendar for you, let me know and I'll reach out. Let me know who that person is and I'll grab time with them. You're not asking for the meeting. You're presuming the meeting is happening. You're showing up with value. I've done my research on you. I can bring value to the table for you. I'm giving you the bullets of the things that I've done previously. When do you want to meet? So you're getting the meeting. You're getting the meeting. You're getting the conversation. And then you go through all the prep, right? You're going to do all the prep that you would do, just like if you showed up to a sales call. It's hard out there right now. But you know who it's not hard for? It's not hard for sales leaders who are willing to do a little bit of work. And I know that you're not afraid of work because you wouldn't be here if you hadn't worked hard and achieved amazing results, right? You can absolutely do this. You can. And it requires a little bit more creativity right now. It requires a little bit more energy right now. And I know you know this already, that energy is so worth it for you to land in a place that you like the people, you like that, maybe you love them. I hope you do, because man, I'm a big believer that you should love the people that you work with. My team would tell me, back in my corporate days, my team would tell me like, don't put love on the slide, Amy. Don't put love as one of your major values. Like, hey, if it's good enough for the Marines, it's good enough for me, right? You must love what you're doing and get pure enjoyment out of it. Like, yeah, there are going to be crummy days. There are going to be days we have to do stuff we don't like to do. But fundamentally, you got to really enjoy it. Enjoy the people that you work with. Enjoy the company that you work for. Respect the leaders. Believe in the product. Feel like you're running your life with credibility when it comes to your professional work. That's what we all are aiming for, right? A chance to grow, a chance to lead, a chance to shine, to learn something new, to break through the monotony and see just, what the hell we can possibly do if we give ourselves a shot to be the leader that we know we can be, right? And that's who I know you are. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please subscribe if you haven't already to this show. That way the episodes are just going to be waiting for you to be like magic. This episode will be waiting for you the next time that you want to come grab a little bit of leadership love in women in sales leadership. And if you know that you are ready for your next level in your career this year is your year, and you know you want some support in getting there. I just celebrated another promotion with one of my clients last week, and she had a big juicy raise that went along with that promotion. So that can be you. That can be you. And I would love for it to be you. I'm gifting every listener of this podcast a chance to get an hour with me to have a planning session. Where do you get it? You go grab it on my website, amyevanscoaching.com/work with me, and you will find the place where you can grab a spot on the calendar. We'll have a planning session. You will come away with so much value in that 1 hour. I want to honor you and thank you for being in this conversation today. Go get a networking conversation on the books for you. It could completely change your life. Just go get it done. You can do this.